How's it, beloved? Welcome to the official first episode of. I'm not gonna say the name yet because last week or in the last episode I mentioned that we're gonna be doing a name reveal. Before we do that, I'm going to welcome today's guest, a very good friend of mine, Rorisang. I don't know, should I introduce you or you'll introduce yourself?
You can introduce me if you want to feel special.
Okay, this is my friend Rorisang. I've known her since 2013 in first year. But you know, as things go, in somewhere in between the years, we don't talk, but then we talk again, and then we don't talk, and then we talk again. And I think I last saw you in 2017.
Yo, dude, I think yes. In my 2017, where?
I last saw you in
It's been a while.
2017 when I had an NPO meeting, and then I slept at your house when you stayed in
Oh
Randburg.
yeah. Oh my word, yeah. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it is. It has been a bit. Thank you so much, Orosang, for making time to come sit with me and have this chit chat. Yeah. So, name reveal. So where the name comes from, it's So after careful deliberation
And polls.
and polls and suggestions and all of those things. Thank you guys so much for all of that. So how the name came about, it's really nothing utla utla, like you'll get it. The reason for it was because of how this is so much a passion project. This has been, I did say in the intro episode how this has been, like a dream or somewhere in my subconscious. This is something that I've been wanting to do for so long. And so our channel will be, or our show rather, on the Contraband channel will be called Aura K. That is AURA_K. So, officially, my name is Oratile Khanaka and welcome to Aura K. So we are shooting today from Capello Newtown Junction. Shout out to them for giving us a spot.
And it's beautiful.
It's a very beautiful
Yikes.
spot. It's a beautiful day. It looks like pula in Tisani. Beke yotlhe.
Pula jobe ke tla go kgalemela.
Right? Sana, it's been raining for so long and I have a feeling it's going to rain again today. So, ke re ka fetsa ka pele before pula ena ba bone.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting into the business of the day, I mentioned that Rorisang and I went to the same uni. I'm obviously not gonna mention names because Batung, I cannot
Rena di lawyer.
tšhelete tsa di poppy act le di tšhelete tsa di lawyer, all of those things. So Rorisang, I want us to talk about how Stoko culture was very much perpetuated by. So what used to happen is that we lived in an all girls res, right? And there were all boys reses as well. So we had these things barigidi axi. And we would obviously have to like dress up, maybe a theme or whatever, and go to the boys res and fraternize libashemani.
And it was compulsory. The thing about, not really compulsory, but you were getting points to boost like you being able to stay in the race the next year. So you do like these socials for the points, even if you are not a social person.
Yeah.
Mare bare, get a group of girls together. Re ba isa bashimaneng.
Yeah.
Like in what world?
You understand? And obviously, kanako e re ne re sa e bone, man. We didn't think about it yalo. And I feel like that's why it's so important for us to mention it now, kapo, to speak about it now as adults, because we are seeing it from a different lens.
Yeah.
I mean, we would go sana re khapile re dressed up, and then we're pretty much just going there for who entertain bashemane.
And
You know,
the people who organize those kind of socials, they speak to the other like heads in the other race. No, this is our theme. Sometimes it's even suggestive. Well, anything
Girl.
but clothes. And
Girl.
all these weird themes, and then they're like, no, re tla tlisa stoko. And Se weird ke
Basically.
makgowa. Kore
Basically.
stalker culture everywhere.
Right, and you know the reason really I decided to call this episode Stoko Culture. It's to emphasize how much it really was Stoko culture, because I mean kana ko o makgowa a o ne ba sa re bitse stoko, but that's really all it was. I mean, how do you want 18-year-old girls to dress up ba lo entertainer
Ka
bashemane?
anything but clothes. I'll never forget. Ra apere di plastic
Yeah, my way.
Now, like as a grown adult, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like
It
it's
is.
ridiculous. Go shapwela, putha banyana, ba ise ko bashimaneng.
And you know, I don't remember us having such similar socials and whatever. Kodi hostel tsa banyana ba bangwe. I don't really remember, if we're being quite honest. We were always going ko
It wasn't
bashimaneng.
about friendship.
No.
It wasn't about friendship. Kim Joel.
E ne le go perpetuate guys.
And I kana got teng motho you're fresh from high school. Na ebile ne ke tsena girls high school. Going into university, I can't try la bashimane le go try la
Nah.
bashimane. Like I don't even think I even ever had a boyfriend before ke tsena university. So bashimane is a new concept to me. The head umplela no puta arieng. I was overwhelmed. Go gontsi hell.
And then we got on little Rorisang to speak about earlier how big this thing is actually. So now gona le di freshers. So not just where we went to school, obviously, but now gona le this concept ya di freshers, and now there's 40-year-old men who are allowed go ya go di freshers.
Like if you're not a first and second year in that university where it's omgolo tlo go chama bana ka koloi, and when you're 18,
Yes.
$200, six pack, yeah, $200 for you, it's like a really big
Absolutely.
deal. You didn't know gore, this is actually garbage.
Oh, impressionable, right?
Yes.
You are very much impressionable, and I feel like it's something that we honestly need to really look into. Like, what do you mean, ke freshers and older people are allowed
Like,
there? Like,
only the
what are
students
they
should go
doing, right?
Like-
what are they doing? It's a different story if it's another type of party or another type of social elsewhere. But if you're going to call it freshers or whatever, let it just be selo sa ko sekolong sana a go tseniweng ka di student card.
Yeah.
And le gona let it be very much limited to my first year le my second year, because now you're trying to get them to socialize with one another.
That was the whole the concept to begin with. Yeah, the freshers and you know, like sort of welcome
Right?
the university, like socialize le dithaka tsa gago.
Eh,
No, banna ba go lo tlogetse mosadi le bana go gae mare wa di freshers bolong. Like, what are you doing?
No, for me, it's honestly, and I feel like it goes on to perpetuate the entire rape culture that we speak so much against. Because now, if you are exposing me to such things when you're supposed to be a leader, if you're exposing me to such things, again, bacha ba impressionable, man.
Thata.
Bacha ba very impressionable. I
Fresh
have
from
a
high school.
right, anything glitz, glamour, lights. Di go chaza, like Rorisang was saying, 200 rand e ya six pack. Ubona ile something leng so something that becomes so great, you know, and now you start, how do I say, now you start because they know gore, that's what impresses you, that's what you like. They're gonna come back next week, they're going to be shopping for you at Res next week. Uri bona di tlhamagane yana di koloi ko Res di latile batjha.
I feel like I would feel so much shame. Ke le mokana yanong, just because I have like some adult money, going back to varsity we go shopa for batho gora gore batho ba dithaka tsa gago a di go batle. That is why o taboga wa go batlana le ma first year people who are new to this
Speak
game.
on it.
Dithaka tsa go a di go batle, wena wa taboga up and down go reso montle ga reso o le motonana.
Which makes you a loser,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, you're a
Which
loser.
makes you very much a loser, because why are you not dating your age mates? Wa sa jole ko mmerekong.
And o tla the kind of justification
Oh, yes.
is, oh, but younger girls
Oh,
like
mature
are
faster.
or they look a certain kind of
They look
way.
older.
There are women who are older who still look younger, like who still look whatever, not even younger, but who still look good. You're just justifying hore no ba fresher or ba etsang you're a pedophile and like you need to deal with your issues.
Speak on
Go
it,
to
sis.
therapy and
Speak on it,
ask
sis.
gore o etse keng, o assess gore sentle sentle goreng ke batla go jola le bana ba banyane. Why? What's the cause of this?
But hey, but ba imetse and ba tlhoka therapy for real because
Yeah.
sana. So again, it perpetuates the rape culture, man. Because now these older people, bana list so much power over you. Because even Bona, the hostel leaders way back when with us when they take us to those socials, because they are older, right,
Yes.
and they know better, or we expect them to know better. They perpetuate this thing by yanung kidi points like Rorisang was saying yanung, you know, you are looked at funny for not going. You are pretty much not given a choice. I mean, you
Yeah.
have a choice, right? But you want to come stay at this res next year, or you want to stay at
Exactly.
a res next year, so you're obviously going to want to participate. And also especially at that time, because nerina curfew, you were only allowed to do this at this time, do this at that time. So how not choice, that's the only sort of socializing
Yeah,
that
so
you
you
get to
take
do.
advantage of it. Kante no. Anyway, it's again the worst thing ka di acts on it the socials tseo. Ene se fela ma first year. Mare rona ha re phutiwa ke fela ma first year. The seniors can decide if they're gonna go or not.
Yes.
Ha o tsena ko bashimaneng, it's not only the first years.
Yes.
It's my third year, the
Yes.
seniors, and it's so weird. They've been there for 2 3 years, so they kind of understand.
They get
They might be
it.
maturing a little bit. When are you fresh from high school? 2 minutes ago, somebody was marking your book. Now you're here
Now.
among seniors in university. Like that doesn't make sense at all.
You are there to entertain bashman. That's why I mean, I could be wrong, mara ha ke gopole go nna le axie or socially where we had to go
Banyana.
socialize go res ya banyana, right?
And
So you're
that's
pretty
when
much there.
that's what should happen.
That's what should happen. If we are really there to make friends, that's what should happen. Mara instead sana o isiwa ko bashimaneng. Gate theme ke eng, anything but clothes. Imagine, girl.
Get out of here with that.
Get out of here with that. And I feel like this is the time for us who have had those experiences to speak out. And no, actually, you know what the problem is when you start speaking out, right? You are being told that no, you're tired, you're
You're old.
old.
Like that doesn't hurt me. I know I'm old. Like
Right?
what are you talking about?
You're being told that you're old. There's a term that I've heard on Twitter X. Barigidi crescida, Rebizadi crescida now, and that is actually supposed to shame you as a woman. Gore no, you are now unwanted, or you are now undesirable. Mara motho the person isn't going to
No, wait.
their age mate
This
who
is
is a
the
little.
first time I'm hearing this term.
Oh, for real?
Cressida.
Go on your Twitter app and search Cressida. Barbizard Cressida.
No, it's a king in there. Go sharp, hi, lo go rona re bua di Cressida. When are we? I think there's such a double standard, Gabana. It's fine to get old. It's okay.
Speak on it.
It's like when you give me being
That is-
older is wiser.
That is literally how this life thing works. You're not as old as you were yesterday. You obviously are older.
When are we? Hanna kile Cressida. There's this game here, Motutla Baram. Women, let's guess what we are today. So today we are cars, I guess.
Exactly.
Yes, we're cars.
Sis, the misogyny actually of it all.
Na monna o over 30 a o tlo go mpitsa Cressida because
What do you
why
mean
itse o ka
ke Cressida?
jolele a 30-year-old because ha go batle.
And ha go batle because you lose.
You are a loser.
Ha go batle because you lose. And it's quite sad, Sana, because again, I'll never stop saying this. Bana ba impressionable. And mind you, we were as impressionable at 18.
Yo, if I could go back to my 18-year-old self, I'd just be like, dude, tlogela banna ba batona. Like
I preached this
masola
too.
kopochi. Ha batlela ba chika hela kore, it's like, oh my god.
Do you get me?
You're old, but like you're there. And I'm impressed by stupid things. I'm impressed by the fact that you can buy a bottle of Sky vodka.
Oh my
Now,
goodness.
ha ke sheba Sky mo liquor store,
How
ka re
se
ka e
swipe out wa
raga.
shopong?
Ka re ka e raga because motho o na impressed ke matlakala. A bottle of JC Leroux. JC Leroux. O ka reng ka bua ke Rorisang. JC Leroux. O serious?
It's none of this is funny, guys. Hey, none of this is funny. And again, what I really don't like is the fact that we get shamed so much for speaking out. And while it's actually so important that we teach our siblings, that we teach our younger cousins, that we teach. I have a sibling or cousin rather. She was in matric in 2022. She was in first year last year. Hey, I drilled into that girl's head. Kishore, she's actually quite mad at me. How much like I drilled into that girl's head.
So mo baneng.
Karukoyana, my girl, don't look the direction of older men.
Tswa mo
Kare,
baneng.
thaka tsa gago, you're gonna find them on campus.
Yes.
Those are the people that you need to be looking. That you need to be looking. As soon as you leave the doors of campus, actually you don't even have to leave because now because of the freshers and all of these other things,
Batla go
they get
latela.
access to you. But you must be able to say no.
Yes.
You know, you must be able to say no. Like because they're going to promise you heaven and earth, Sana, and they don't
deliver
even
on
have it.
Nothing.
They don't have it.
Why don't you promise heaven and earth to your age mate? Because your age mate o tla go bolella gore wena. Ay.
And also, as a 30-year-old, if you're offering me heaven and earth, I'm gonna say to you, no, listen, I've got the heaven, you bring the earth.
Yeah.
Right? And then we'll meet halfway.
Like,
Marayanung, if you're offering an 18-year-old heaven and earth, they're obviously going to take it. Sana, kara, I had to drill in my sister's head. I had to gotta go and listen here, my girl. Ko wileng teng, wile sekolong. Wile sekolong. The temptation di teng. I've been through it all. I've been through it all. I've seen it all. And you don't have to experience it to know that it is not right.
because it is traumatic though.
Very.
Like my perception on relationships, I've had to like work on it to understand what a power dynamic. One person shouldn't have the upper hand on the other, because even if they're not that much older, when you're 18, anyone, even if they're 25, that's still like such a big gap in terms of maturity. So the power dynamic really becomes one person has the upper hand on the other one. And that's not how it should work. I had to unlearn a lot of things. Being a people pleaser made it even worse. So
Right?
Banna ba kgolwehela, even if there's like a 5-year age difference, the brain actually isn't fully developed until you're 25.
20. Yeah, exactly. Kana ba re ke eng? Your frontal
Yeah, the
lobe. is not-
prefrontal lobe. So-
the scientists here.
So how le 18, how it's next santla una life experience?
None.
Sabubedi, your brain is still just like mush. There has like, so no EQ, no emotional intelligence. You're still like
Nothing.
fresh. You don't know anything. And then you meet a guy who's literally been through it all. And they're like, babes, yo, listen, I'll even help pay for your registration or whatever nonsense they'll say. But after they get what they came for, they're like, actually, I'm married. And you're like, wait,
And then now you're left in the rut.
what?
You're left in the rut.
Yo.
O setse ka lefela fela.
Motho no impresswa ke matlakala Tez. Like as I'm going through my memories, I'm like, this nigga drove a Tez. A Tez. And I was like,
I would say Basana, because you think about these things now, and that's why Kerry, like my sisters or my siblings, they don't have to experience
Yeah.
it. I had the experience. I had the trauma. I had to. Like Rorisang is saying, the unlearning that you've had to do, the unpacking. Sana, therapy tse di tsamayang.
and it
We
did a whole-
live at the therapist's office, and it's so expensive also. So I don't have to. You don't have to go through it because I went through it. You know, out of all of this, you know what hurts me the most? What hurts me the most is that we have to do so much teaching to our younger siblings,
Yeah.
babanyana, but the men are not doing the same thing to the
Nobody.
boys.
Nobody is saying to the boys that, hey, a woman is not an object. Hey, you treat women with respect. Hey, you protect. Nobody's doing
Nobody's
that.
doing that with the boys. You know,
So, Khwatswana, we teach our kids, we send them out into the world. They're still wolves. Khwatswana.
we literally teach younger girls to still be victims. Mara hariruti the perpetrator not to be perpetrators. I have a younger brother. Ramanelwe, if there's one person that will tell you how much drilling I do into his head, there is. I remember when he started high school, I think, and then we were talking. We talk a lot, right, about pretty much everything. So we were talking about banyana, I think, and then came the conversation of calling girls stoko.
Oh. Utlela language.
You understand? And then came the conversation of calling girls stoko. I had to strangle it out of him. Ngwanyana is stoko. Ngwanyana is stoko. That's not. She's not your friend. She's not your, like, you don't know that girl.
And urutwa ke bo mang? Other men.
His older friends, kapo his older schoolmates. Ke bona ba ba rutang gore banyana ke stoko.
Other men.
You understand? Now the burden of having to teach younger children or younger boys as well lies with us older ladies or older girlies as well. What are the guys doing? And I'm imploring the guys, Sana, to participate.
Yeah, like seriously.
They need to seriously participate.
Like,
They need to
you
seriously
need-
participate because
You need to be part of the conversation. You need to like small things. Even with my partner sometimes you don't use that language. Small things like language use, but you're used up. Okay, immediately the thought process is that this person is an object. Or stock. That means that person is a thing. They're no longer who they are. And then that kind of makes it it's okay for them not to have autonomy. So I can actually take what I want because technically
I'm a thing.
this is an object, not a
Exactly.
person. So that's when, like what you said, who promote rape culture.
Rape culture.
Because in the mindset, like
it's an object. You can do anything you want with it at any point in time. You understand? The other day on my Facebook, Nekibua kind of what was the post? The post in so I'm not gonna name names or whatever. It was these 3 girls who do sex work, right? And then somebody or some random page they post gore person X o rekisa ka bokana for a weekend, person X o reita bokana for a weekend, whatever, you know. And then I reposted that, and then my caption was like, the one of the girlies, her rate is justifiable because she's been in the game long enough. And then one
She
of the
got the
comments,
skills.
exactly, one of the comments was about mileage. Nare, why do boys, guys, who taught you mileage?
and
What
also
the hell is
when I own a
mileage?
mileage. Like so when your body count is not part of the conversation.
Right.
Only my
Right.
suka.
So now I'm arguing with this person. Ubuaka mileage. No, I would never pay so much because of mileage and whatever. I said to them, Sana, mileage is just a term coined by men
Yeah.
to strip basadi of their sexual autonomy
Yeah.
and their bodily autonomy.
Yep.
What do you mean by who's counting?
And also, why are you counting? Also, why are you here?
Why are you counting? Why ubatang?
Samai.
Like ubatang. So I say to him in the comments, Kiri, why is it that mileage waka important? How important?
Not to be quite honest, the only conversation about body count that I'll have is how many people have you killed. That
That is the only body count that matters. That is the only body that we
have
are
you
counting.
killed a nigga? Like,
Listen, so I say to him, Sana, a girl or a woman on a body autonomy can go and sleep with 900 people in 1 week, and then when I unne number 901 on day 6, and you won't know because it's not your business.
And also, that muscle down there
it works.
It works because people be like, oh, I can feel it, that I can feel that they've slept with. How I did biology,
And
how I did life sciences, and I can see it. And I can see how I did life science because it's literally a muscle. We can exercise it. We can. It can pop out a human, and then tomorrow it's tight. You don't know what you're talking about.
You know, I'm always saying to my peers and acquaintances, if urata the female body so much, and if you like sex so much, and whatever, you need to learn how it works.
Yeah.
You need to literally learn how it works, because now letla ka di themo tse di snacks bo mileage bo body count.
Your face is a mileage. Zama. Sometimes, like when I have these conversations with these men, because I lived in PE, ne, banna ba maxhosa, bako PE specifically, have
Never beating the
so
alligator.
much internalized misogyny. They hate their mothers. O tlhole o utlwa le language e ba e dirisang. You can't talk about me and then you don't have resentment against your mother. The hatred of women comes from actually hating their mothers. And the reason they hate their mothers, I had to like
understand.
the reason they hate their mothers is because their fathers left. So the cause of the misogyny is another man. Because they hate the mom for being the one who
That stepped up.
stayed and who stepped up. So ba feletsa ba tlhoile other women. And how sheba fela or botata in this nation, honestly, it's fathers who are not present for their child's life.
Speak on it, sis.
Like,
Speak on it.
go tshwana le batho tla ba re, oh, young girls who date older guys have daddy issues. Why are you making it a me issue? The problem is the
The
dad.
problem is that I wouldn't have issues if their dad was not an issue.
Why do I have daddy
Why
issues?
is it my problem? And why are you shaming me for having daddy issues? Because the only reason I have daddy issues
You
is
need
because
to
my
shame the
daddy
nigga
is an
that left.
issue. Exactly.
You need to shame the guy who's like out
And
here
you are
not
so
doing the right thing.
You are so right. We get blamed and punished and whatever for things that we didn't do.
How do I have daddy issues when, like, you need to be confronting the guy that caused all of this? Don't just look at the symptom, look at the cause.
The cause, and it's such a bandage situation that, oh my gosh, guys, and no man, because really the problems that we are having, so many of our problems
Amen.
can be solved by. Okay, so many of our problems can be solved by
Men stepping up.
men stepping up and just being there.
You know what I always say, and I know this is gonna come across as very, like, not great. I always say I'm proud because I come from a 2-parent home.
Yeah.
I've seen what real love looks like. I've also seen the fights and the conflicts and whatever. But coming from a 2-parent home gives you so much different perspective. Aniva monna atle abue le nna snacks because my dad never spoke to me that way. Aniva o tlo go
I'll
abuse
strangle
because my
you.
dad never did that to me. Like,
I'll
so
strangle you.
coming like bothata ke nke banna. That is why some women stay in abusive relationships because their dads were abusive, or some women like bothata ke banna. The social ill is the man who leaves and doesn't do the right thing. Like, if o na le ngwana out there ebile a o itse le gore o kae, pick up the phone and call your baby mama. You're causing us problems.
Banale this thing ya gore ba blame, they would be saying, no, my baby mama doesn't want me to see my kids.
Why?
No, sis.
The question is why?
No, also, if you don't, 8 out of 10 times, nobody doesn't want you to see your kids. You don't want to see your kids.
And 8 out of 10 times, the women are actually pining for the men to step up.
Precisely.
They actually
Precisely.
want the co-parent. They want the positive male influence. It's my baby mama. No.
Oh my gosh.
It's you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
It's
gosh.
you. You're the problem.
Like, I fed it because I'm actually lost for words, because this topic, this part of the conversation is actually so personal to me, because I've seen it, experienced some part of it. Some experiences not so personal to me, but seeing things happen to another person. like we were saying earlier, it doesn't have to happen to me for me to feel it and to
Understand.
understand it and to realize it, And Sana, just step up to your children. First
Like
of
I'm
all, teach your
seeing.
children rights. Teach the boy child. Teach the boy child gore ngwanyana ha se stoko. Teach the boy child gore ngwanyana ga re he are he. Go na le story sa a few months ago or a month ago, some those teenagers in Midrand.
I cried so hard after like reading that story and watching the TikTok videos. Her own friends turned against her. Kere, did you miss her if you let the gamo dirayana?
I I had to call my brother and sit him down when I went home over the holidays. I sat him down. Have you heard about the story? And he hadn't really. My brother stays off social media quite a bit. So I had to relay the story to him. I couldn't read or listen to the whole thing because it was just too much for me.
I
Right?
cried.
But obviously the crux of it I knew. I had to sit my brother down. Ka mo tlhalosetsa ke re, "Wena, next year, this year, go young, where you'll be. O ka re nka morare ebile a ska lebella banyana.
Shebela.
O ka re nka morare, like when girls come your way, just look away." But obviously that's not how life works. But I had to drill it into him. Gore, don't look at drunk girls. Don't touch a drunk girl. Don't tell a
even-
girl not to get drunk even.
Rather be the one who calls an Uber, be the one who pushes other niggas away.
Away,
Be
yes.
the person that girl needs in that moment. O tla tsoga phakela be even more grateful for you.
So sometimes at res, you guys aren't even going out, and then you guys decide to have your little thing within the res. And if you are within the space, mulinting le banyana, and maybe one girl or you're all getting a little too intoxicated, what? Keep your clothes on.
Yeah.
And if the girlie has to sleep on your bed, rather when
Yeah.
or go to your friend's room,
Yeah.
leave her a note saying, "Call me when you wake up." Don't touch, like, I don't know what level of drilling I had to do, and I implore all the gents, do that to the younger boys and girls.
And teach them consent.
That's exactly
Ask.
essentially, yes.
If it's not an enthusiastic yes, if it's not a okay, let's do it.
Let's go, yeah,
because
don't do it.
so many girls re tsentse fear ne re na le fear,
Coercion.
especially yeah. So hamotari, oh, let's do this, and you're like, your first thing is like, no, I don't want to do it. About but baby.
Aba gore he a re he wait he ke coercion eno tla tronko mesien o tla tronko
Nothing but an enthusiastic yes.
only.
Yes, oh, bona gore I'm ready. I'm
Gore
gonna
we're both
do this.
here for it.
Because tse dintse
Ebile le tshwanetse o bone ka ngwanyana a itlela ka a ikentshetsa yena protection gore honey, let's do this. O bone gore this girl is here for it. Otherwise tlogela ngwanyana o batho tlogela ngwanyana o. And ha gore ha we le bojalweng, that's another thing that I said to brother. It doesn't mean how we le groove you have to come back with a girl. Actually, don't take any girl from
just
groove.
pass out on your bed and call it a day.
Go home. You
Banyana
went
ba
there
groove le
alone.
teng bone ba dangerous. So Tlafi, we will rob you.
I advocate for girls like that. I advocate for rob them. Banyana baka. If he takes you home, rob him.
Rob
Rob
him. Oxtail mo fridging.
Rob him. Rorisang, thank you so much for having this chat with me.
Thank you, Aura.
This is us for today.
Remo Capello.
Remo Capello, Newtown Junction. Thank you so much, Penyo. Oh, I don't know. Flu.
And le thank you, January.
And this is exactly what shows gore ke January. Next episode, go tlatsa tafole le tla bona. Next episode, go tlatsa tafole. Thank you so much, Penya, for the amazing production. Thank you again, Rorisang, for
That's
giving me your
alright.
time. And thank you so much, guys, for all the love that I've been receiving. I've been receiving so much love. I'm so grateful, and thank you so much for the support. I can't wait to walk this journey with you guys. And otherwise, that's it from me. Follow me on my social media and all of those things. They will be like on the comments or like on a ribbon down there somewhere. Yeah, they'll be there somewhere. And maybe Rorisang also wants you guys to follow her.
Get sharp. Sharp. I talk nonsense on my Facebook, so it's fine.
Okay, so none of that for Rorisang. The sharper guys.